Do you love old cars and trucks? Join us on Bring 'em Back to Life, where we search the salvage yards and backyards of America to find that gold mine of a parts car or that restorable gem in the rough. Come with us down memory lane as we elevate the status of our salvage yards to outdoor museums of automotive history.
Okay, we have parts.
All right, if you're home, we're taking out the much needed parts we have to finish this project.
Just be careful on that ridge on the fender. I didn't realize that ridge was rotten when I saw it.
Yeah, we can put a little plate in there. This is old stuff, guys, but as you can see, it's a Comet GT.
And I wonder if we can make a four-door Comet GT.
We can. We got torches and a welder. We can just about anything.
And now it looked like it had a little scoop on it, huh, John?
Yeah, it had some kind of scoop on it. These are definitely cool little cars. You can see the holes in there. Ooh,
probably went with that GT package.
Would have been nice to know what that looked like. If any of our viewers have any pictures, you should send some. Pink doesn't matter. It's going to be green anyway when we're done. Pleasure to see all you guys again. Take care, Dennis. Thank you for having me.
Well, after our trip out to Clemens, who just happened to have a 76 Mercury Comet right front fender and hood, I've taken a walk over to the trailer and set him on the little Comet. It's going to be a whole car again. Now all I have to do is find somebody with a rear bumper and the rear bumper strut for one side, and we can finish putting her back together after a little repairs made on the fender and the hood. And apparently there was a little scoop of some sort on a Mercury Comet GT hood. The holes are there and some studs are sticking up. I gotta do some research on that. But there it is. We're going to bring this little Mercury Comet back to life. But this is the last time this little Comet's going to have the little 3/4 inch white walls on the tires, because the left front's flat, won't hold air, and the others are dry rotted, have the sun cracks on them, so they're not safe. But yesterday I went to the tie rod spring swap meet up at Stafford Motor Speedway, and I found a nice set of 4 Firestone black walls, 195/70s. And we're going to be swapping these little white walls out for the black walls, but hey, we're just bringing it back to life. We're not being fancy, and I got them pretty reasonable price, so that's what I use. Next time you see it, it'll be black walls. Well, here's a quick update on the Mercury Comet that Dave gave me for bringing them back to life. Well, I'd made a comment that somebody stole the keys out of the glove box while it was still in the salvage yard, and I got it home and everything's locked up and I can't do anything. So my son Ryan, who's the maintenance supervisor at our local bank, stopped over with his locksmith tools and took the ignition switch out of the steering column home, took it apart, and made me a key that goes into the door and unlocks the door. And he's coming over in a few minutes with the lock that he removed from the steering column after he popped the steering wheel off, and he's going to put the original steering column lock back in for me, and then I'll be ready to get this car over to one of my sponsors who's going to try to get it running. Be back in a few minutes. Since my son Ryan made me some keys for the ignition switch, which he pulled out of the column, and I stuck them on my mad key ring because I was mad that somebody stole my keys. But now he made me a nice period correct Ford key that should work to unlock the doors and the ignition switch. So let's give it a try here. and I put it on a key ring from Kleeman's. There we go, lock and unlock. Since Bob Kleeman sold me the fender and the hood, and I did my first couple episodes at Kleeman's Auto Parts, and it's his son that has Kleeman Service Center. So that makes a nice tie-in. And now Ryan has the ignition switch to put back in with the period correct Ford key he made me.
Hey there. Well, I had to get this ignition tumbler out by picking the lock and getting it forward into the accessory position, because that's the only way to remove this tumbler, by pushing this pin in. I was able to take the lock apart and cut a key manually for it. Now we can turn it and get it forward. Here we go. Simple as that. Just got to tighten up the wheel. Good to go.
So you can take it out of lock position and put the shift lever from park into any, by stepping on the brake.
I don't think you need to in this era. Yeah.
Okay, Mercury Comet's ready to put a battery in and see if it's gonna live. I'll be calling my friend Wayne, bringing it over to his hot rod shop, and he's gonna do a little work on the engine for us and see what we've got. Thanks, Ryan.
You bet.
Well, when I initially brought the car back to my house, my buddy Dave stopped to see me, and I told him the problem I had with the keys being stolen out of the glove box, and he climbed in through the back seat hole because he's a lot younger and smaller than I am, and he popped the lid up so I could get the lock. I brought the lock to Ryan, he took it apart, made a key for the trunk lock, so now he just popped the lock back in the trunk, made a key for that, and voila.
There you go.
Another problem solved. Thank you. Well, this is the first cruise, the first car show for this Mercury Comet since it came out of Jordan's, still on a trailer, on the way to Wayne Salvage to get it running. And here's the show at Lisbon Central School.
Get out of your way there.
I got those same wheels on my Camaro, you know, my Mustang.
So it's kind of right. 2 acres like right. Yeah, really. 2.5 acres. Yeah. So anyway, and of course I still see it.
It's got a TV show that you can get up there, and you can find out where they are.
Richie needs help to, like, you know, set up stuff. So right now I can't. She can't. Right. Take it out.
Flat spots.
1957 Chevrolet Dash, customized in this Tempest Le Mans, shortened by 2 inches. What's that, Bob?
Probably a 318. That's what I would guess.
Probably an early 318. About this supercharger.
That's 1936 Graham, and that came in here years ago. Over 40 years ago, and it came in.
All right, I'm going to walk over there with Johnny and show that, and
Yeah.
then we'll come back and get these Comet parts.
Yep.
All right, thanks, Bob.
Okay, no problem.